I have a severe form of paranoia. I haven't been checked out or anything, but I know I have. Anything can set me on a trembling onset of fear and an eternal sense of dread. Dripping of spare water trickling out of a tap will make me want to scream for eternity, with sleep being the only salvation. The creaking of a door can cause a spell of dizziness, with the floor being my only grasp on reality. And don't even get me started on a dog barking at night. I've always been meaning to go to someone to get some help. But that means going outside. And don't even get me started on that. It's harder than it seems. I hardly go outside anymore. Most of my shopping is delivered and my bank accounts are slowly dwindling. I need to get this sorted. I need to go back to work. One of the things that can stop Free from becoming so panicked I call the police is television. Television is my saving grace. I watch it day and night, and it is just such a useful tool. I don't watch scary movies for obvious reasons, so I can just skip the scary channels. I have DVDs for the early hours when the shopping channels come on, so I can be entertained enough to stay awake. I mean, I don't like going to sleep. They can get you that way. When I see they, I mean the dangerous ones. Rapists, murderers, violent Neanderthals, or less human creatures. Monsters. Things that stalk the fields. Vampires, werewolves, whatever you can think of. Any of those can get in. But I fixed that up so far. I mean, I bolt my doors shut at night, solder the hinges so they can't break them like wax, and the floorboards I ripped up to cover the windows are reinforced with steel beams. Not even army can break through that. Sometimes I hear people at night, voices, strangers. Some of them tempt me out, telling me that they're my family or old friends. I know that's a lie. I'm not an idiot like you see on the news channels. Have you noticed how depressed they are? Full of death, torture? It's because they listen. They follow the voices. They follow the mirages of their old companions. Bet by now you're wondering whether the cheese has slid off my cracker. Well, I'm about to inform you of just one of the reasons why I've chosen this existence. Then maybe the smart of you will join me in my solitude. However, the ignorant will let their idiocy be their doom. I was sitting in my living room, where I usually am. I mean, you don't expect me to go outside, do you? Or upstairs? I was watching television and some rerun of The Simpsons was playing. This particular episode I hadn't seen before, and I was filled with a new, genuine sense of nostalgia. Something I hadn't seen on TV? Now that was new. The premise made me shudder, however. Bart was being hunted down by a group of unknown assailants. He became more and more paranoid until he was confined to the walls of his house for fear of being taken. Sounds familiar. But it started to get really creepy. Bart opened up a letter and it said, "Die, Bart. Die." I was terrified. I know, terrified by a kid's program, but the fear he experienced was... What was that? Sorry, I thought I heard something. Calm down, breathe. It's just the TV. Everything is fine. Anyway, the show carried on, with Homer trying to help Bart out, find out who was responsible. "It's probably someone you least expect," he said in his uplifting tone. I was a wreck at this point. I had already been up 3 times to see if the bolts were secure, and the steel beams near the windows were reinforced. I started to hyperventilate. Frantically, I looked about me, yelps of alarm betraying my lips. I wasn't even watching the TV anymore. I just sat there, rocking, holding my legs together, I smacked my head in an attempt to knock myself out. Damn sleeping the night before, otherwise I'd have probably passed out by now. But instead I was shaking, screaming loud, non-stop, just screaming. Whispering. Whispered, laughing. I froze, slowly turning my head to the noise, literally convulsing in fear. I grabbed the knife that I usually carried on me. I prepared for what could be behind me. A little girl, slowly rotting with flesh. A smiling male with elongated teeth beckoning me to the other side. Silent, if not muffled, tears of apprehension fell down my face. I twitched as I had managed to turn 45 degrees. Another 45 degrees. That's all that separated me and that thing. My God, what was that noise? What is that noise? I can hear the whispering even now as I recount this nightmarish ordeal. No, I refuse. It's just the TV. Everything is fine. Just the TV. Everything is okay. You're fine. 15 degrees more and I would see it. Sweat poured down my face like rainfall and mixed easily with my tears. 10 degrees. Everything's fine. 5 degrees. You're okay now. Don't worry. It's just a story. Finally, I was looking at it. I had turned slowly to face nothingness. The black void of nothingness, ominous and black. I sighed and laughed maniacally. What was I even afraid of? There was nothing there, nothing at all. I prepared to get up, wiping the blood off my legs that the blade of my knife coaxed out of the skin. The laughing again. Whispered, delicate laughing. What do you want? I choked out into the abyss, which I was in no doubt that it was gazing back at me. That same whisper again. It's just the TV. You're fine. Everything is fine. Cautiously, I gathered up the courage to inch forward a little to the shadow. The raspy, persistent breaths and whispers of something else echoed back. You will have nothing now, the being whispered, and I screeched, louder than I had ever screeched before. Behind me, the TV clattered to the ground and the screen smashed into a million tiny pieces. I think by then I passed out. Well, that's my story. Everything's fine now. I'm still scared, but everything is fine. I just wanted to let you know why. Oh God. The whispers. They're still beckoning me, laughing, and I've just realised. My TV is broken.